Steph Curry has made it pretty clear that he's not sweating the Warriors' slow offseason. During his annual basketball camp, he addressed questions about Golden State being the lone team with 0 new additions, saying it's different for sure, but then laying out exactly why that doesn't shake his confidence. He pointed to the identity the team built in the final stretch of last regular season and through the playoffs, calling that foundation strong enough to carry them forward. Curry also emphasized that he, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green know how to prepare through uncertainty, expecting to hit the ground running once training camp starts. He made it clear that despite the stall in roster moves, he's doubling down on his personal preparation. "You control what you can control," he said, meaning his fitness, mindset, readiness, regardless of how many new teammates are added. He's openly said the roster could use some pieces, but that doesn't mean the current group can't compete. While he didn't promise anything flashy, his belief in the culture, leadership, and system makes a persuasive case that maybe he's right. Curry's confidence starts with familiarity. He's been through years where the roster looked incomplete, only for internal growth and timely tweaks to pay off when it mattered. The Warriors' culture was forged through adversity. Just think about it: injuries to Klay Thompson, the departure of Kevin Durant, even seasons where they missed the playoffs entirely. Through it all, Curry has seen that when the team leans into its identity of unselfish offense, relentless movement, and disciplined defense anchored by Draymond Green, they're capable of punching above their weight. He trusts that this season is no different, even with negotiations for Jonathan Kuminga dragging on. The habits they built down the stretch last year, when the team quietly surged in clutch games, give him a baseline of belief. Curry also knows his own preparation is more refined than ever, with offseason training emphasizing efficiency, recovery, and longevity. That makes him feel less anxious about whether the roster is perfectly set in August or September. Another reason for Curry's ease is the Warriors' leadership spine, even amid roster churn. Steve Kerr remains one of the league's most respected coaches, and Draymond Green is still the defensive heartbeat and emotional center. Yes, Kevon Looney's departed in free agency, and Gary Payton II is still unsigned, but that only allows the team's next man up mentality to shine through. Golden State has a track record of developing or repurposing role players into difference makers when big names aren't available. This year, that'll be guys like Moses Moody, Guy Santos, Brandon Pajemski, Quentin Post, and Trace Jackson-Davis. Curry sees this track record and believes it'll repeat again with new faces stepping up into those vacated minutes. He knows championship habits, not just headline signings, carry teams deep into the playoffs. Having endured countless postseason runs, he trusts that familiarity, culture, and Kerr's system can compensate for losses and give the Warriors an edge over newly assembled super teams. This continuity at the top is why he can project calm instead of frustration. Curry also understands the system itself is a competitive advantage. Golden State's motion offense, heavy on reads and timing, takes years to master. Newcomers often struggle early but become more effective once they internalize its principles. This season, the Warriors are betting on internal development from role players who have been learning the system for a while. Curry knows that when everyone moves with purpose, screens, cuts, off-ball relocations, his gravity creates open looks for others, amplifying the talent already on the roster. That system can mask deficiencies, allowing the team to thrive even without a traditional bench scorer or dominant rim protector. For Curry, that's a reason to believe they don't need a blockbuster move to compete. The structure already elevates those who buy in. The intangible factor, culture, may be Curry's biggest anchor. Golden State's built a locker room defined by accountability, selflessness, and adaptability. Young players are expected to absorb not just schemes, but professional habits from the veterans. This kind of environment keeps panic at bay during rough patches. It's also attractive to veterans on the market who value winning over personal stats. Curry can sense that the culture he helped create remains intact, even as faces change. That makes him confident the Warriors will still be a team others fear in the postseason. It's a trust built on years of being in the trenches together. Curry's personal evolution feeds into this outlook. Entering his 17th campaign, he's become more deliberate about how he trains and how he picks his spots during games. He's still lethal as a scorer and playmaker, but has learned how to conserve energy for critical stretches. That self-awareness reduces his anxiety about roster holes because he's less reliant on sheer explosiveness and more on timing, skill, and decision-making. He's seen peers like Jimmy Butler extend their primes by adjusting their games, and he's doing the same. This means he can shoulder a heavy load without burning out before the playoffs. With that in mind, he views the offseason more as a time for steady preparation than headline chasing. Still, there are risks he's implicitly acknowledging. Age and injury remain the biggest variables. Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy have logged thousands of high-intensity minutes. Even with smart load management, the possibility of an untimely injury could derail their season. Depth is another question mark. If Kuminga's situation drags on or other moves stall, the bench may lack reliable scoring or defensive versatility. Curry's calm doesn't erase those concerns, it simply reflects his belief that the Warriors can manage them. But these are real factors that could test his optimism once the season begins. Another potential vulnerability is roster fit. Golden State's system is intricate, and adding or losing even a role player can disrupt the balance. Younger players have to step into bigger roles with clarity and confidence, or the rotations could become disjointed. Without clear roles, the offense can stagnate and the defense can slip. Curry knows this, but appears confident that training camp and the regular season will iron out the wrinkles. His leadership will be key to setting the tone and expectations for those players. This is where his calm demeanor is more than PR, it's a stabilizing influence for the whole group. Competition in the Western Conference also adds pressure. Other contenders have made bold moves, like Kevin Durant going to Houston, or DeAndre Ayton going to LA, or Denver adding Valanciunas, Cam Johnson, and Bruce Brown. These moves have added size, shooting, and defense. The margin for error is slim, and one poor stretch of games can affect seeding and playoff matchups. Curry is aware of this landscape, but seems to trust the Warriors' playoff experience and mental toughness to prevail when it matters most. He's betting that while other teams figure out chemistry, Golden State will already be operating at a high level. That's the edge of continuity. Yet it means the Warriors must be sharp from opening night, not just in April. Curry's calm confidence sends a message internally and externally. It reassures teammates who might be uncertain about their roles. It signals to the front office that the core still believes in the plan. And it frames the narrative around the team as one of stability rather than desperation. In a league where perception can sway locker rooms and free agents alike, that's powerful. Curry's posture of trust might even influence how remaining free agents view Golden State, making it easier to sign guys like Horford, DeAnthony Melton, etc. In this way, his attitude is itself a strategic asset. Steph Curry's unbothered stance isn't naive. It's rooted in years of winning, a refined game, and a culture built to weather uncertainty. He understands the risks of aging, injuries, and roster gaps, but believes the Warriors' system, leadership, and experience still give them a championship foundation. His confidence becomes contagious, setting the tone for the locker room and framing expectations for the season ahead. Whether Golden State can translate that belief into another deep playoff run will depend on health, depth, and the integration of younger players. But Curry's earned the right to trust his instincts. As the season begins, the Warriors are betting that calm preparation, not panic moves, will keep their dynasty alive. If he's right, his quiet confidence could once again be the secret ingredient that separates Golden State from the rest of the league.